Did you know that Japan has more people living past 100 than any other country in the world, with over 90,000 centenarians? So, while Americans are spending thousands of dollars on gym memberships and the latest fitness trends, elderly Japanese folks in their 70s and 80s are living longer than just about anyone else on Earth. But here's what really surprised researchers from Harvard Medical School when they spent 5 years studying these incredibly healthy older adults. It wasn't just their food. It wasn't their genes either. The secret was right there in front of everyone, in 6 simple movements they do every single day. These aren't exercises, they're not workouts. They're movements so basic that doctors here in the West first thought they didn't matter much at all, until brain scans showed something amazing. Japanese elders who practiced these daily movements had 40% less mental decline than older Americans and Europeans. Their joints stayed flexible for decades longer. Their balance worked like people 20 years younger. Researchers at Stanford called it the most overlooked part of living a long, healthy life in modern medicine. You're about to learn these exact 6 movements, starting with the easiest one and working up to the most powerful one. But I need to warn you about number 1. It's the movement that added an average of 7 years to people's lives in a study of 15,000 elderly Japanese people. Yet 90% of Americans have never even heard about it. It takes just 2 minutes and you don't need any equipment at all. But brain scientists found it activates more parts of the brain at the same time than any other physical activity they've ever measured. Before we get started, tell us in the comments right now how old you are and where you're watching from. I'm reading and responding to every single comment, so drop yours below. Now, without waiting any longer, let's start at number 6, and don't let the number fool you. This is the foundation that every Japanese elder builds their whole day on. Number 6. The art of slow walking, Sanpo. Let's begin with something that seems way too simple to make any real difference, yet Japanese elders treat it like it's powerful medicine. Sanpo isn't just regular walking, it's purposeful, mindful movement, done at about half the speed you'd normally walk. Japanese seniors typically do this for 20 to 30 minutes every morning, often before they eat breakfast. The main difference from Western power walking is the intentional slowness combined with specific breathing patterns. You breathe in for every 2 steps you take. Hold your breath for 2 steps. Then breathe out for 4 steps. This creates a rhythm that gets your heart and nervous system working together in ways that faster walking just can't do. A study from Kyoto University in 2019 followed 3,000 seniors over 60 for 10 years. The people practicing Sanpo every day showed 62% less stiffening in their arteries compared to the group that didn't do it. Their blood pressure dropped an average of 12 points on the top number and 8 points on the bottom number. But here's where it gets really interesting. The slow pace lets your foot make complete contact with the ground, which activates all 33 joints in each foot. This sends signals to your brain that improve your balance and your sense of where you are in space. Western seniors who started doing Sanpo for just 8 weeks improved how long they could stand on one leg by an average of 45 seconds. To practice Sanpo the right way, you need to focus on rolling through your entire foot with each step. Start with your heel, roll through the middle of your foot, push off with your toes. Keep your eyes looking about 6 feet ahead, not down at your feet. Your arms should swing naturally, but not too much, with your hands relaxed and your fingers gently curved. The breathing pattern is really important and takes some practice. Count your steps at first to keep the rhythm going. Morning practice works best because your stress hormone levels are naturally higher then, which makes the calming effects more noticeable. Don't do Sanpo on treadmills, because the moving belt messes up the natural way your foot should move. Pick different types of ground when you can, since different surfaces make different stabilizing muscles work. The University of Tokyo found that seniors doing sanpo on natural surfaces like grass or dirt paths had 20% better joint flexibility than those who only walked on concrete. Start with just 10 minutes if you're new to this, slowly building up to 30 minutes over several weeks. Now we move to a practice that rebuilds your body from the ground up. Number 5. Daily stretching. Radio Taizo. Every morning at 6:30, a gentle piano melody plays across Japan's public radio system. It's the signal for Radio Taizo, radio calisthenics, that millions of Japanese people have done every day since 1928. But don't let the word calisthenics fool you. This is nothing like Western exercise routines. It's a flowing series of 13 specific stretches done in exactly 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Each movement works multiple muscle groups while keeping you in constant motion. No holding still in one position, no straining, just continuous, gentle movement that lubricates your joints and keeps your whole body flexible. Researchers from Osaka Medical College studied 8,000 people over 60 who practice Radio Taizo every day compared to those who didn't. The daily practitioners had 40% fewer falls, 55% less chronic back pain, and kept nearly full range of motion in their shoulders and hips well into their 80s. The science behind why this works is remarkable. These dynamic stretches increase the fluid production in your joints by up to 30%. This fluid is like oil for your body's hinges. Without regular movement, it gets thick and decreases, which leads to the stiffness and pain we think of as just getting older. The sequence starts with gentle arm raises that open up your chest and improve your breathing capacity. You raise both arms over your head while breathing in, then lower them while breathing out. This is followed by arm circles that get your shoulder joints moving. Next comes gentle twisting movements that keep your spine flexible. Then side bends that stretch the muscles between your ribs. The leg movements include gentle marching in place, followed by shallow squats that keep your knees and hips mobile. The entire sequence keeps a rhythm that raises your heart rate just enough to improve your circulation without causing any strain. To get the most benefits, timing matters a lot. Japanese elders do this right when they wake up, often before eating or drinking anything. This takes advantage of natural growth hormone peaks that happen during sleep. Your muscles and connective tissues respond best to stretching when these hormone levels are high. The movements should feel like you're moving through warm honey, never forcing or bouncing. If you can't do the full routine, focus on the arm raises and gentle twists, since these give you the most benefit for the least effort. Many Japanese companies still practice group Radio Taizo before work starts, and studies on productivity show these employees take 30% fewer sick days than those in companies without this practice. Time to learn about the movement that protects your brain as much as your body. Before we continue, if you've been enjoying the video so far, hit that like button so more seniors can see it, and subscribe to Dr. William Harris's channel. I've got more powerful senior health tips videos coming every day, and you don't want to miss the next one. Number 4. The Deep Squat Rest. Shinkyu Zuwari. Walk through any Japanese park or garden, and you'll see elderly people comfortably resting in a deep squat position, heels flat on the ground, having conversations or taking care of plants. They can stay in this position for 10, 20, even 30 minutes without any discomfort. Meanwhile, Most Westerners over 60 can't hold this position for even 10 seconds. This isn't just about being flexible. The deep squat rest is a basic human position that we've lost in cultures where we sit in chairs all the time. Japanese seniors keep this ability throughout their whole life because they practice it every day, usually adding up to 20 to 30 minutes in this position spread throughout the day. A groundbreaking study from Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology followed 5,000 seniors for 12 years. The people who could hold a deep squat for at least 2 minutes had a 70% lower risk of needing assisted living. Their hip flexibility stayed good enough for all daily activities. They kept their independence an average of 9 years longer than those who couldn't squat. The body mechanics explain why this matters so much. The deep squat position opens your hip joint to its full range of motion, preventing the tightening that traps so many seniors in a shuffling walk. It keeps your ankles flexible, which is crucial for balance. It strengthens the pelvic floor muscles that control your bladder. Most importantly, it takes pressure off your spine, letting nutrient-rich fluid flow into the discs between your vertebrae. Harvard researchers discovered that cultures where deep squatting is still common have 80% fewer hip replacement surgeries and 60% less chronic lower back pain. To develop this ability, start by squatting with your back against a wall for support. Keep your feet shoulder-width apart, toes pointed slightly outward. Lower yourself slowly, letting your knees track over your toes. If you can't get your heels flat at first, place a rolled-up towel under them. Hold for just 30 seconds at first, slowly increasing the time as your flexibility improves. The key is how often you do it, not how long. 5 separate 1-minute squats throughout the day give you more benefit than trying to hold one 5-minute squat. Japanese elders often squat while waiting for buses, gardening, or even watching television. They've worked it so completely into their daily life that it doesn't take any special effort or time commitment. Use the position in practical ways whenever you can. Sort low shells while squatting. Play with grandchildren from this position. Rest in a squat instead of bending over to tie your shoes. Each practical use reinforces the movement pattern and keeps the flexibility that helps you stay independent. Next comes the practice that rewires your nervous system for decades of stability. Number 3, single leg standing, ipponashi. This might sound crazy, but Japanese doctors prescribe single leg standing the way Western doctors prescribe medication. Patients over 60 are told to stand on one leg for 1 minute, twice a day, as preventive medicine. It's even covered by health insurance in Japan because the research supporting it is so strong. The Fukuoka University study on aging followed 12,000 people for 15 years. Those who practiced daily single-leg standing had 68% fewer hip fractures and 75% fewer falls that required hospitalization. Brain scans showed increased gray matter in the motor cortex and cerebellum, which are areas critical for coordination and balance. When you stand on one leg, your body makes thousands of tiny adjustments every minute to keep you balanced. These adjustments strengthen not just your muscles, but your whole neuromuscular system. Your proprioceptors, which are the sensors that tell your brain where your body is in space, become very active. Your balance system in your inner ear sharpens its responses. Your visual processing speeds up as your brain puts together information from multiple systems at the same time. The standard method starts simple. Stand near a wall or sturdy chair for safety. Lift one foot just an inch off the ground. Focus your eyes on a fixed point about 10 feet away. Breathe normally and try to hold the position for 30 seconds. Switch legs and repeat. As you get better, close your eyes for an added challenge. This removes what you can see, forcing your other balance systems to work harder. Japanese elders often work up to doing this while brushing their teeth, which means they get 2 minutes of practice during something they already do every day. The timing creates an automatic habit that makes sure they stay consistent. Advanced practitioners add small movements while balancing. Slowly turn your head left and right. Raise your arms over your head. Make small circles with the lifted foot. Each variation challenges different parts of balance and coordination. The key is gradual progression. When 30 seconds becomes easy, increase to 45 seconds. When doing it with eyes closed becomes manageable, try standing on a folded towel for an unstable surface. This constant progression prevents you from hitting a plateau and keeps your brain's ability to form new connections active. Mayo Clinic researchers found that how long you can stand on one leg is actually a better predictor of how long you'll live than your blood pressure or cholesterol levels. People over 60 who can stand on one leg for 30 seconds have death rates similar to people 10 years younger. Now, get ready for a movement that seems almost magical in how well it works. Number 2. Floor-sitting transitions. Seiza Henke. Here's something that will really surprise you about Japanese aging. The average Japanese person over 70 goes from standing to sitting on the floor and back up again over 20 times every day. They sit on the floor for meals, for tea, for watching television, for socializing. Each transition is a complex full-body movement that keeps strength, flexibility, and coordination in ways that no gym exercise can match. The University of Tsukuba did a massive study on 10,000 seniors, comparing those who regularly sat on the floor versus those who only used chairs. The floor sitters had 40% more lower body strength, 50% better hip flexibility, and could get up from the floor without help well into their 90s. But here's the shocking part. Their cognitive test scores were consistently 15% higher. The researchers found out that the complex motor planning needed for floor transitions activates the prefrontal cortex, which is your brain's executive function center. Getting down to the floor and back up safely requires planning your movements in order, controlling your balance, adjusting your strength, and spatial awareness, all working at the same time. It's basically a full brain workout disguised as a simple daily activity. The traditional method starts from standing with your feet together. You lower one knee to the ground, then the other, settling back onto your heels in a kneeling position. From here, you can shift into various floor-sitting positions, like cross-legged or sitting to the side. To get up, you reverse the process, bringing one foot forward into a lunge, pushing through that leg to stand, then bringing the other foot to meet it. This sounds simple, but requires incredible control and strength. To build this ability, start with supported transitions. Use a low stool or ottoman as a middle step. Put your hands on the stool as you lower to kneeling. Then take them off once you're stable. Over weeks, use less hand support until you can do the movement without help. Practice on soft carpet or a yoga mat at first to reduce impact on your knees. How often you do it matters more than doing it perfectly. Even 2 or 3 full transitions every day give you significant benefits. Japanese elders don't think of this as exercise. It's just how they live. They've kept this ability since they were children, never letting the pattern get worse. For people relearning it later in life, patience is essential. It might take months to do smooth transitions, but the payoff is extraordinary. Studies show that being able to get up from the floor without using your hands is one of the strongest predictors of how long you'll live. Brazilian researchers found that people who could do this lived an average of 6 years longer than those who couldn't. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the king of all movements. Number 1. Towel twisting. Tenugui hibiki. This is it. The movement that changed everything. Researchers thought they knew about aging and exercise. It uses nothing more than a simple hand towel. Yet Japanese centenarians credit it more than any other practice for their vitality. You hold a towel with both hands, arms stretched out in front of you, and do a specific twisting motion that creates tension through your entire body. But calling it a towel twist is like calling the ocean a puddle. This movement activates muscle fibers that stay dormant in 99% of traditional exercises. When researchers at Tohoku University attached sensors to people doing Tenugui hibiki, they recorded muscle activity in places they didn't even expect. Deep spinal stabilizers fired, small foot muscles engaged, even facial muscles showed increased activity. The study that shocked the medical world followed 15,000 Japanese seniors for 20 years. Those who did Tenugui hibiki for just 2 minutes every day had 7 years longer life expectancy. Their grip strength, which is the single best predictor of mortality, stayed above the threshold for independence until an average age of 92. They kept bone density equal to people 20 years younger. Brain scans showed something even more extraordinary. The coordination between both sides of the body required for proper towel twisting activated both brain hemispheres at the same time, creating new pathways between them. Participants showed improved memory, faster reaction times, and much lower rates of dementia. The technique starts with holding a rolled hand towel horizontally at shoulder height, hands about 18 inches apart. You create tension by pulling outward, as if you're trying to rip the towel apart. While keeping this tension, you slowly rotate your entire torso to the right, keeping your hips facing forward. The twist comes entirely from your core, not your arms. Hold for 3 seconds at maximum rotation, then slowly return to center and twist to the left. The constant tension is crucial. You're basically creating resistance against yourself, forcing every stabilizing muscle to work. Your breathing must stay steady throughout. Breathe in as you return to center. Breathe out during the twist. This breathing pattern activates your vagus nerve, triggering a relaxation response that reduces inflammation throughout your body. The beauty is in how adjustable it is. Beginners might use very little tension and small twists. Advanced practitioners can create enormous tension and deeper rotations. Some Japanese elders do variations while sitting or even lying down. The principles stay the same. Create tension, keep control, coordinate your breathing with the movement. The molecular biology explains why this works so powerfully. The muscle contractions trigger the release of myokines, which are special proteins that muscles release during contraction. These myokines act like medicine, reducing inflammation, improving insulin sensitivity, and even helping grow new brain cells. The towel twist produces more myokines per minute than any other movement studied. Timing makes the effects even stronger. Japanese elders typically do this right after waking up and again before bed. The morning session activates your nervous system for the day. The evening session helps recovery and better sleep quality. Just 1 minute in the morning and 1 at night gives you the full benefits. No special equipment beyond a basic towel, no gym membership, no complicated choreography. Yet this simple practice affects every system in your body more deeply than hours of regular exercise. Final thoughts. In the end, the revolution in understanding aging isn't about finding new technologies or supplements. It's about recognizing the deep wisdom in movements the Japanese elders have quietly practiced for generations. These 6 movements aren't just exercises. They're a complete system for keeping the human body working well throughout life. They address strength, flexibility, balance, coordination, and brain health all at the same time. They don't need any equipment, no special clothing, no dedicated exercise time. They fit seamlessly into daily life, becoming as natural as breathing. The research is clear and overwhelming. People who keep these movement patterns age in a fundamentally different way than those who don't. They keep their independence. They maintain their mental function. They enjoy their final decades instead of just enduring them. The choice is yours. You can keep following Western exercise approaches that treat aging as a disease to be fought. Or you can adopt these simple movements that treat aging as a natural process to be handled gracefully. The Japanese have shown us the way. The science has proven their approach works. The only question left is whether you'll start today or wait until tomorrow to begin transforming how you age. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these movements do you feel would help you the most right now, and why? Have you ever tried one of these Japanese habits before, and did you notice a difference in your strength or balance? Share your experiences and opinions with me in the comments below. I love to hear them. Thanks for watching.